NBCC and HUDCO both climbed more than 4% after the company signed an MOU for a project worth 600 crore rupees in Noida.
KC International is up close to 5% after winning turnkey order worth around 1,700 crore rupees from Power Grid. The stock is still holding with a gain of 2.5%.
Godrej Properties launches QIP. Sources say the QIP size has been increased from 4,000 crore rupees to 6,000 crore earlier. The stock is up nearly 0.5%.
Colgate-Palmolive. The shares rise in today's trading session after the analysts meet with the management guides for balanced growth ahead. Brokerages, Goldman Sachs and Citi, they issue sell calls on the stock, while Jefferies remains bullish on the stock.
Aditya Vision and Electronic Marts India are up after Nuvama initiates coverage. On Aditya Vision, they have a target price of 672 rupees.
Hello and welcome to Chartbusters. I'm Nigel, with me is Mangalam, and the markets are holding well in the green. The only question is whether or not we can get past the 24,350 mark. Today included the last 3 trading sessions as well. 4 sessions in all. We have gone to that mark, but we haven't closed above that mark. In the last few minutes, we've slipped a little bit yet again. Now the markets, in fact, have moved into the red. No real cause to worry because the breadth of the market is firmly in favor of the number of stocks advancing. And that's what's going to make your portfolio look good, because you have 3 stocks advancing for just 1 stock that's declining. Hey, Mangalam.
The last 3 days, Nigel, the Nifty has rallied about 924 points. It is a November series expiry today, so very crucial to track how it goes. The FII strategy of long Nifty, bank and short Nifty perhaps seems to be working a little bit, but options are positioned for an up move beyond that 24,350 mark, if at all we do cross past that hurdle, as you pointed out as well. So we'll keep an eye out on all of this. Let's go across to Sachidanand Uttekar for a quick check on the indices as well as individual stocks. Sachi.
Good afternoon, Nigel. Good afternoon, Mangalam. Clearly, I think the market is consolidating, but if you look at today's data itself, the floor looks very confident at 24,180, 150 kind of a zone. So any declines towards that particular level will again give us a good opportunity to create further long positions. On the higher side, the 50-day exponential moving average would be critical. I think that average is placed somewhere close to around 24,400. So probably we may see a swing towards the same, and the expiry could shape up near that particular area. The contribution for Reliance could be very significant, and that's why we have highlighted this particular trade to our clients as well. The stock has maintained its weekly gap opening and the floor at around 1280 very well. It has started trending above its 5-day and 20-day exponential moving averages as well. If you look at the 30 minutes charts, we already have a bullish flag formation, which is indicating a price target somewhere close to around 1360. And that's why we are recommending building long positions in the December expiry, keeping a stop loss at around 1288 on the lower side for a probable target swing towards 1355. The other stock on our radar is LIC Housing Finance, which we have recommended to our clients recently. If you look at the overall stock performance, the stock has been consolidating well within this particular series. It has also maintained the high top high bottom sequence on its intraday scale, but it needs a decisive breakout above its 200-day exponential moving average. So today's price action looks very confident. So probably we may see this particular rally getting extended towards 680, led by short covering. That's why we are recommending building fresh long positions even in the December series with a stop loss somewhere close to around 630 on the lower side.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Sachi. By the way, when Sachi was giving us that call, just take a look at what's happened to the Nifty. The intraday chart comes up for you on the screen, and we are down close to around 150 points from the high point of the day. HDFC Bank has slipped in the last few minutes, big time. It was up close to 1.5%. That's been holding one end up. That slipped. Tata Consumer, pull up the intraday chart out there. That's down, considerably. So the charts come up for you. Ultratech Cement as well has seen a bit of a downtick. And ITC that was holding well in the green, well, that as well has slipped. So the Nifty chart really comes up for you on the screen. Now we're down 75 points. I don't think it's a cause of worry, but, there are a few stocks that have slipped.
There are a few stocks that have slipped, and the bigger cut has come in from the IT pack. So, know, the IT index should come up for you. Remember, HDFC Bank and IT index itself account for a fair weight on the index. So, we have the Nifty IT index, which has seen a sharp slip. So, pull up the intraday charts of Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech, Wipro, the biggies out there. Infosys, of course, has a fair weight on the index as well, as a result of which we've seen a big cut on the Nifty, now down almost 75 points. The Nifty Bank still holding in the green, despite the cut that we've seen on HDFC Bank. So, that's something we'll need to keep an eye out on. But good time in this volatile market to get you a few ideas for profit. Coming in from our colleagues at Money Control Pro, Nitin Agarwal joins in.
Hello, the company that I have chosen for today is SGS Enterprises, which is an auto ancillary company catering to the premium auto OEMs, and apart from that, it also caters to consumer durable segment. There are a couple of factors that make us upbeat about the company. First, let me touch upon its Q2 earning. The company recorded a strong 18.8% growth on a YOY basis in its top line, driven by strong demand for the premium products, and in fact, it outpaced the industry growth by around 1.8 times. It continued to maintain its EBITDA margin above 25%, primarily on the back of its premium product. Now, coming to the outlook, there are factors which continue to make us beat about the company. First, the company continuously has been innovating new products in the premium segment, which have higher content per vehicle. In fact, the content per vehicle for the SJS has increased from 5,000 rupees to 15,000, and it is expected to rise to around 18,000 rupees per vehicle. In addition to that, company continues to focus on export markets. Its share of the revenue share from the export is around 7.5% as of FY24. In fact, in Q2, company received an order from Stanless in USA and Brazil. In terms of valuation, the currently company trading at around 25.6 times FY26 projected earnings, which we believe is reasonable given the growth outlook.
Right, now the cut on the Nifty is accelerating. We're down 120 points, and we're looking at a bigger cut coming in on HDFC Bank as well, Nigel, at the low point of trade for HDFC Bank. And the Nifty Bank too, just moments ago was holding in the green by about 1/5%, and now that too has flattened out, currently moved into the red just as we speak. So big gash coming in. The Nifty now at 24,140.
Yeah, Mangalam, we're trying to get some confirmation, but it appears the street is a little bit jittery about some geopolitical issue that just played out in the last, 10 minutes or so. And because of that, the street has got a little bit cautious, but we'll wait for an official confirmation whether or not there's been any kind of escalation. It appears some kind of murmur, some kind of not confirmed news report suggests that maybe there is some geopolitical issue that's come back into play, which could be part of the reason why we have seen this sort of a downfall. But as past evidence suggests, that most of this doesn't result in a big escalation. So hopefully, for the good of humanity, for the good of the markets as well, that plays out yet again and things stabilize on that front. But that's one of the factors could be at play, the reason why we have slipped in the last 10 minutes.
500-point gash on the Sensex. We'll definitely keep an eye out on that. And if it is a geopolitical related issue, we'll obviously watch out for, Brent as well. Brent's still holding at around 72.5, so no major change out there. What we'll do is take a short break, come back on the other side. We'll get a corporate conversation going. Amod Dhanuka, who is the CMD at Tilak Nagar Industries, joins in to discuss the company's new luxury brandy launch, the outlook for the business at large. Welcome back. While we're still trying to ascertain and confirm the reason for, the geopolitical issues which have led to this decline in the market, or perhaps one of the reasons why there could be a decline, just keep an eye out on the Nifty, down 200 points now. But option writers are positioned for support around the 24,000, 24,050 mark itself. So we'll watch out for whether there is some support coming in here or not. But over the last, 2 or 3 minutes, we've seen a big gash on the frontline indices. But the mid-cap index, while it is out of the highs, it's still holding up fairly in the green, with about 3 stocks advancing for 2 stocks which are declining. The stock on our radar is Tilak Nagar Industries. The company yesterday unveiled its first luxury brandy called Monarch Legacy Edition. Will be launched this quarter. To understand more about this and the way forward for the company, we do have Amit Dhanuka, who's joining in. Amit, always a pleasure speaking with you. I remember in the conference call you did say that you're just a couple of weeks away from your first luxury brandy launch. You've done that, priced at around 6750 rupees in Maharashtra for a 750 ml bottle. What What I wanted to understand is brandy, while overall is 20% of the alcobev market in India, what is the salience of premium and luxury in brandy versus the other parts of the alcobev market? What's the headroom here? And what can you do from this product in terms of revenue?
Good morning, Mangalam. Thank you for having me on this show this morning. So I think as most of our viewers and investors know, we are India's largest premium brandy selling company. Two of our brands, Mansion House and Courier, they're millionaire brands. So there were two reasons, in fact, for getting into the luxury segment. One was, of course, we felt that for us, it's a natural progression to move up the value chain in terms of having a luxury offering. And the second, more importantly, was that we do feel that there is a market to be addressed in this luxury category for brandy as well. We see that a lot of companies and a lot of brands are quite active in the luxury space in the whiskey category. So we do believe that there is a gap in the luxury brandy space as well.
Which was what the question was. How big do you think is the TAM and how much of that can you gather?
So, Mangalam, India, of course, whiskey is the primary category in India. 60% is whiskey. The brandy is the second largest. 20% is brandy. Of course, in the luxury space, it's very difficult to really tell, what the market would be. I mean, it would be a long-term play. I think our intention is to just seed it. And there's an offering which is there. It's a legacy edition. Of course, we've completed 40 years in IMFL. So we felt that it's good to have that offering in the market right now. But
right.
really go ahead, Nigel. Yeah.
No, you're making the point. Finish it.
No, so what I was saying is that of course, in the whiskey, there are so many multiple offerings at various price points. So we felt that it would be good in terms of our brandy strategy also to ladder up, and that's what we've been doing. I think over the past 2-3 years. A lot of our efforts post restructuring, have been towards moving up the value chain. So it's the premiumization journey, of course, is long. It's not something which is going to really pan out over a quarter or two quarters. It's more, a 5-7 year long journey. So, we have just started.
But Amit, 6,700 rupees for a 750 ml of brandy, is it a little steep?
So that's the price.
The weather is perfect. The weather is perfect and it'll only get better for the next 60 days. But, 6,750 bucks for a 750 ml, don't you think it's a little steep, or your studies say that you'll get demand?
So in Maharashtra, just because of the way the excise structure and taxation is, it does end up in that vicinity. But some of the other markets like Goa and Puducherry, it would be sub 5,000 over there. So, but anyway, depending on state, the price would vary from 3,500 to about 8,000 rupees a bottle.
So, which all states will you be selling this in?
So, of course, I'm quite pleased to say that we have already received pre-orders for our exports. So, I think that's an initiative which is already rolled out. We're seeing some movement in terms of the export front, in terms of luxury category and an Indian offering. I think that's something which we're very proud of to have crafted this brandy. And with the domestic markets, of course, launch in Puducherry, Karnataka, Maharashtra, states where we have good distribution. I think that will be the way forward.
So what's your estimate here in number of cases? How many can you sell over the next 1 year or so? Just trying to understand, because you say there is a gap here. You are also exploring it. And, the demographic of brandy drinkers would perhaps be a little different from that of whiskey drinkers. So just wanted to understand what your internal targets are before you launched this.
It's so difficult to really put a finger on that, Mangalam. I think it's too early. I think, but one thing I can say that, more from cases will be looking at bottles sold rather than cases. Yeah. And I think in terms of the overall story, I think our company's intention also has been to give the category an uplift. So I think that's very important. We have to, look at it from that lens as well, as to, the whiskey category has been, very actively invested space, both in terms of communication, product, distribution, etc. The brandy category, we believe, is an underinvested category. So I think if one sees it from that lens, I think, it should go towards changing the imagery which is surrounding brandy, which has traditionally been that medicinal drink, cold, cough, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, it is a good medicine, at times. But
The way you're coughing, Nigel.
No, Amit, tell us about quarter 3 now. Let's keep brandy aside. How is the business shaped up? It could be a blockbuster quarter. Is it shaping up like that? You're at Diwali, you're going to have Christmas, the winters, right down your alley. Have things recovered? And what should the volume growth for the year look like? Because there has been that policy change in Andhra as well.
Sure. So the first half, I think it was low single-digit growth, Nigel, and I think we've been over the reasons. I think there were election there and both national elections and state elections in Andhra Pradesh. But this half year, definitely, we'll end this half year. H2 looks at double-digit growth for sure.
All right, double-digit growth for H2.
So,
What does that mean for the entire year? You did expect to cross that 1,300 crore mark on the revenue front. From a volume standpoint, steady state, you've guided for 12 to 15%. But this year would be how much?
I think this year would be around same. I think our revenue guidance, Mangalam, if I'm not correct, it would be around 1,600, 1,700 crores for this financial year.
Okay, all right. Just a quick point, about you'll have acquired a couple of companies. I think the last one, Spaceman, if I remember correctly, you increased the stake from 10 to 20%. And they are coming out with some blockbuster, drinks. Personally, I've tasted Samsara, which is brilliant as a gin. And the rum addition is very, very good. Sitara, wow, I think that could really rock. Do you have any plans of increasing stake from around 20%?
So firstly, Nigel, thank you for the compliment. I'm very pleased that you have tried Sitara because it's a very recent introduction. And, yes, currently we have committed for a 20% stake. And now we'll be distributing Samsara and Sitara also in the markets where we are strong. So, we do see this partnership going forward in the coming years.
But will you increase stake, because both these two brands, they could do pretty well, as an option for rum. The Sitara is going to be, for those who want to drink more premium rum, I think it's in that vicinity of around 2,700 to 3,000 rupees. And even for the gin, there's a fair bit of demand. So sooner rather than later, would you want to go ahead and increase your stake?
So I wouldn't be, willing to commit as to, but the partnership is definitely synergistic. I think there's synergies on both sides, and both have things to be gained from the other. So we'll just be taking it a step at a time.
All right, and final question before we let you go. We're out of time, not out of questions. This one is with regards to Tamil Nadu. Now, in the first quarter, you had 5.5% stake share in the market. Tamil Nadu increased to about 8.1%. I wanted to understand what is the potential from here, because India average contribution from brandy is about 20%. Tamil Nadu, that's about 50%. And in such a large market, you're just about entering and increasing market share. So how big a state do you think it could be for you over the next, say, 6 months to 12 months and perhaps at a steady state? What kind of market share are you targeting here?
Mangalam, that's a good question. I think Tamil Nadu is a very large brandy market. As you correctly pointed out, 50% of the brandy market is in Tamil Nadu. But let's also keep in mind that 80% of that market will be entry-level brandy in which we are not operating. So perhaps the addressable market for us is 20% of the entire Tamil Nadu market. So we have one product currently over there, which is Mansion House Reserve, which is growing quite well. But yes, we have a pipeline of products which we are looking at introducing in Tamil Nadu in the next 12 months. So of course, we'll have the flagship Mansion House introduced over there, and also the Flandy. The orange Flandy is something also which we will introduce in the next 12 months. So very optimistic in terms of Tamil Nadu. A large brandy market, predominantly, of course, cheap brandy, but good value proposition in terms of premium brandy as well. Monarch is something also which we will try and invest with the institutions in Tamil Nadu.
Okay, and what about Imperial Blue? Are you interested or not?
So it's a great brand, Nigel. I think let's not make any mistake of that. Large whiskey brand. We know how difficult it is to create, brands in today's context, and it's an iconic brand. Sales upwards of 20 million cases. So we really good brand. I think it's probably the top one of the top 10, top 5 or top 10 brands in India. So
interested or not? Interested? Are you all interested? Amit, are you all interested? Are you all interested in Imperial Blue?
So Nigel, we continuously, we keep looking at opportunities which we believe will be synergistic. in terms of the overall vision and growth of the company.
Okay.
So we evaluate that on a continuous basis.
You know, there was a pause. I was wondering whether you're going to give me something dynamic or that it was going to be breaking news. But for the time being, you're just appreciating the brand.
I don't know whether the pause was dramatic or technology-led. So in any case,
It was technology-led, I must confess.
so there is no drama out here. You're not buying Imperial Blue for now, is what we can.
So no comments right now, Mangalam.
All right.
Refrain from making any comments.
All right, we will await any commentary on that very soon. But good luck with this launch and good luck with your, endeavors in the next 6 months. At least the second half of this year looks a lot better than the first half, and thereafter with all your plans as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
With that, we'll take a short break, come back, focus on the markets, a lot of stock-specific action. We've seen no respite from the big dramatic fall that we saw in the market right now, still holding below that 24,100 mark with a cut of nearly 200 points. We'll discuss the market and individual stocks. Stay with us.
Welcome back. In the last 30 minutes, the entire market structure has actually changed. We got into the show, the Nifty was positive. Now we're down close to around 200 points. We're waiting for further details with regard to what's going on in Russia as well as Ukraine. But for the time being, the market is clearly nervous, and that's why we're seeing some selling. And in the last few sessions, we've seen a big recovery. So, that's why the temptation to book some profits, it seems, is played out. But we get a clearer picture because as of now, there's no big spike up in crude oil prices or gold. Gold should see some safe haven buying. Crude should move up because there could be some kind of restrictions with regard to oil. So let's see how that goes. For the time being, we'll wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters. The team of Trading Hour, though, is waiting by. They'll take all the action forward.